afternoon, good morning. It's a bit choky today. Alright, we're live on me, Eric. Afternoon, Eric. Hi. Try to get him back out, there we go. Hopefully you can see the screen on here. Hi Lilia, and I see you here too. Squinting because it's bright out today, wow. LA sunshine, cold but sunny. Welcome to my scope. This is my Monday, Man Up Monday conversation. Welcome to my daily scope, and nice to have you joining me. Thanks for coming in. If you're here for the first time, thank you for joining me. Nice to see you here. If you want to type in a 1 in the comments or something so you can say hi that you're here for the first time, that'd be great. And hi, nice to have you here. It's Barry with an A, by the way, just for for your reference. Not a fruit. If you are here, please make sure you do swipe right on the iPhone up on the droid or tap the guy in the corner and follow me so you can stay posted on my daily scopes. I do a love scope every day. Sorry, I'm in a silly mood today, which is not a bad thing. And thank you. Please make sure that you also be kind enough, or if you'd be kind enough, to share this on Twitter and also invite your followers on Periscope. That'd be great. That's okay, no problem. First time, you get to know these things about each other. So to give you a little background on myself before I get into my topic today, and if you are here, thank you for joining me. I know some people are joining in as I go forward, so I may repeat some of these things again. Just bear with me. My name is Barry Selby. I am English, but I live in Los Angeles, hence the interesting accent you may be detecting in my voice. I am a relationship expert, teacher, author, and guide, and I'm a #1 best-selling author of my book, which is 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. This book is filled with good stuff, to put it simply, and I'm dealing with a slight cough, so thank you, Eric, for inviting followers. I'm trying to suppress a cough, so if I do burst out in coughing, bear with me. I'll be back on again soon, in a second. So let you know about my book. You can find that on my website, and I'm going to give you quick links to see right now before I get into the topic. If you go to barryselby.com/book, you can read all about my book here. You can get it on my site as a physical book or an ebook, and there's a link on there to Amazon to get it there in physical form and Kindle. And to be honest, it's cheaper on Amazon than it is on my site, but I like selling it personally so I know who buys it. So that's the plug. I'm just giving these are all my props, so I'm just going to get these out of the way before I get into the topic. So thanks for being here. If you're joining me for the first time, please make sure that you are in fact following me. So swipe right on the iPhone, up on the droid, and right on the iPhone, up on the droid, and tap follow me, and also share with your friends on Twitter and on Periscope. This is my site. Easy to find, barryselby.com. I'm in the process of rebranding, so my site says The Love Confidant. You can get there that way, but also if you go to barryselby.com, you'll get my site, all my information, videos, teachings, programs, packages, etc., etc., etc. That's it. So I'm trying to put this down somewhere because I don't need this anymore, at least for now. I'll talk without it. There, I'm going to talk with my hands. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for joining my scope. Today's topic, I should say, let me give you some context. I have committed as of last week, and this is the second week of doing this, to do a different scope each day based on a theme of that day. So Mondays are Man Up Mondays. Tuesday is Togetherness Tuesdays, and Wednesday is Women Up Wednesdays. So Monday's about men, Tuesday's about couples, Wednesday's about women. The rest of the week I'm still configuring, but Sexy Saturdays was pretty good from what I heard from feedback. So today is Man Up Mondays. Last week I was speaking about the difference between the macho and the masculine, which is a very big distinction, but not very well known by a lot of people. So I'll make sure you get that information. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it on catch.me, because I have an archive of that. But today's topic is near and dear to my heart. And I spoke on Wednesday last week, just to contextualize this, about women. Sorry, people reaching. I didn't put Do Not Disturb on my phone, so I'm getting text messages through whilst I'm scoping, so a little distracting. Let me get back on topic. Wednesday I was talking about women. I was saying Woman Up Wednesdays to remember your place, and I meant it to say that ladies, let a man treat you like a woman, respectfully, out of deference, not to disempower you, which some women think it is. So now I speak to the men on this side today about gentlemanly conduct. Now, as I said at the beginning, I'm from England originally. Wasn't high class born. I was working class. Still am, I guess. But being a gentleman was kind of innate in the DNA. It was how we were taught and raised to be respectful for women. So open the door for them, help them with their coats. I will, Lily, I will. To just be a respectful person for women. And I've come across this a few times. I shared this last week and I'm sharing it again today, especially for the guys who are watching who may understand this too. I've been basically verbally slapped in the face when I've done it for women. Occasionally, not all the time, not far from it, but some women take it personally that if I'm going to help them, somehow I'm disempowering them, which is a total missed opportunity. First of all, if you know me, you know that disempowering women is not anything in my DNA. It's not what I do. When I open the door for a woman, it's out of respect, out of appreciation, and I hope any man who does that for a woman does the same thing. And I encourage men to step up and do this more often because, frankly, women deserve that respect and appreciation more and more in this world. You know, I'm going to start a global movement to have women be respected by men, open the doors for them. If that's what happens, great. It's not what I plan, but who knows. But the thing underlying this is that our society has perhaps trained us or educated us to be very self-centered, and not in a good way, to not think beyond our 3-foot circle of awareness outside the arm's reach, you know? So when it comes to, and it's not about relationship necessarily, it's about being in the world around men, being around women, that to help them with their coats, to help them when you open the door for them, even if you're not dating them, is a sign of respect. So my intention with this scope is to really say to men all over the world, be willing to be of service to the women around you, whether it's your mother, your daughter, your girlfriend, your co-worker, someone strange you meet, someone at the Starbucks, you open the door as they come in. It's appreciation, it's respect, it's gentlemanly conduct. And that's really the essence of what I want to speak to. Hang on. And it was tickling the back of my throat, had to come out. And that, I talk about that in my book to a degree, but I want to make this essential statement today, that there's a missing piece in modern society that we've evolved beyond. And I wouldn't say so much as the more mature people, like over 40, but certainly amongst the 20-somethings, this is not very common, so maybe they need to watch this more than anybody else. Because for the youngsters, oh God, I sound so old saying that. But for the youngsters out there, it's easy, apparently, to forget that girls are different and deserve your respect. The generationally things have shifted, and it's frustrating to watch, to be honest. I wish I would be able to get this to a larger audience to reach particularly younger men so that they learn this young, which I did, and take it into adulthood, into maturity. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate that. Please share this with your friends as well. This is something that's so simple, and I feel like, you know, I don't need to break the point, but so many people don't get it, which is insane. That this is not insane. It's just to me, it's just so obvious that we could do this. It doesn't require any effort. It's simply a matter of saying, men, be a gentleman, be polite to women. I mean, be polite to everybody, but in terms of opening the door for them, opening them with their coat, like, even to the extent when I was with friends, where I would go with them, and if my friend was driving, she was driving, I'd actually go around the driver's side, open the door for her so she'd get into the driver's seat, close the door, then go around the passenger side and sit down in the car. Because that to me is what you do as a man, a gentleman. If it's raining, you have an umbrella that you offer and cover her with. Sometimes at your own sacrifice. Now, there's a fine line here about sacrificing your own comfort for a woman, but I've stepped over that line more than once because that was kind of the way I was raised, you know. And it wasn't, again, as I said before, this is not about disempowering. Far from it. It's about inspiring ownership of the feminine in the woman. And that's a large part of my work anyway. My passion in serving women is to help them own their feminine gifts, their power, because the world needs the feminine energy more than any other time on the planet. But that's a whole other conversation. Staying true to this message, I may talk about that Wednesday, we'll see. But this point I want to make again and again is, gentlemen, men, guys, boys, all of us, take the time to be aware of your environment and your surroundings. So when you see a woman in your environment who you can be respectful to, do that. And it can be just to be nice to her in the environment. So, okay, this one's coming up to talk about. If you're sitting in a coffee shop and you see some attractive woman across the way, be polite. Don't be lustful or lecherous or ignorant. Be respectful. And have no attachment or intention behind it except to be a polite service to her. Yeah, you might get something back. If you don't, it's fine. The act of service is the reward itself. And that's a big lesson to learn. So, oh, that's a great handle. Doom and Gloom 198. Interesting handle you got there, sir. Or man. I'm not sure who you are. So, the essential place of this again is be willing to go second. When a woman walks with you, let her go ahead of you. Open the door for her. Let her go ahead inside. Except in circumstances where there might be hazard or danger. This is a whole other conversation. For some situations I'm aware of, sometimes it's good for the man to go first. Exactly. Yes, there you go. I was going to say, yeah, Lily, you talk about sexuality and relationship stuff too, so maybe we need to talk about some things overlapping. I'm not sure. Just a thought just hit me. But again, back to essential communication. I'm just realizing I'm filling in blanks here. Be present to your awareness of other people. That's what I'm about. So, sorry, I'm just checking to see who's on the scopes. Oh, Louisa. Okay, good to have you here too. So I think I've really covered the point, but rated it even and made it clear. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. This is something that I know so many men forget. And I live in Los Angeles, which is a very interesting culture to watch things in, where I see people do stuff, and I mean, sometimes it is tempting, almost overwhelming for me to just grab a guy by the scruff of the neck and say, dude, do you see what you just did to that woman? The lack of respect, it's frustrating to me. So that's why this is kind of a rant for me, because it's so simple yet so needed that, first of all, men need to respect women, period. 2, women need to remember their feminine strength and gifts, and if men help them with that, that's a good thing. And 3, it will change the model of relationship on the planet. And it's going to save the planet, frankly, because there's a whole other conversation, which I'll talk about Wednesday, about the feminine power that's needed on the planet. That's another conversation. But staying true to this scope, this topic, as I keep wandering off and coming back, that this is the key. That we are here to honor and respect each other. And for men to be gentlemen to women is a huge part of that. There. That's the summary. Distillation. That's it, I think. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've got a lot of scopes out there. I do Periscope every day on love and relationships. This is a love scope series I do. I'm doing them at noon every day right now is the plan, to see how the time frame works. I'm still juggling time schedules. I'm committed from 1 to 3 every day with my Perry 10K group, hence the hashtag in my bio. If you want to find out more about me, please go to my website, which is barryselby.com. I've got a bunch of stuff on my site, including my book, private coaching, online programs, download programs, videos, audios, all sorts of stuff you can check out there. Hey, good to see you, Jay. I am actually just wrapping up this scope, so you got me right at the back end, but thank you for being here. But I'll just recap for a moment, just to be clear. If you didn't catch it at the beginning of the scope, because you've heard it 7 times already now, but I'll say it again one more time for luck. There is maybe a greater need, thank you, Jay, I appreciate that. There's a greater need now than ever for men to remember their place, which is to serve women. Yes, now there's a whole piece about women serving men, but that's not part of this conversation. What I'm talking about in this context is men being gentlemen, heart-based gentlemen that serve, that honor, that respect women. Now, there's another piece of the puzzle about women being respectful for themselves and for men too, but that's not the topic of this scope, so I'm not missing that out. I'm just saying this focus on this scope is about how to be a gentleman. And I use the context simply of saying open the door for them, helping them with their coats, helping them with a chair, carrying their bags for them if they wish, not taking the bags from them, but asking if you can. Now, some women are very strong-willed who will say no But if you don't offer, that's the withhold. So as a gentleman, you at least offer. And sometimes repeated offers if it's that needed. Gentlemen prosper. Works for me. Thank you for I like that. Thank you, Jay. So that's really the essential communication. And because the thing for me is that I'm seeing so much of that missing in this world. And maybe it's because I'm in Los Angeles where I see that. I'm glad you do. It's something that, and yeah, Eric, some women do act like men, and that's part of the challenges that men have. Okay, let me put this piece into the conversation because this is something I talked about before. Women have been trained from the sexual revolution onwards, from the 60s, to act like men. Lady Barry. Thank you, Lilia. They do. I coach women on this because the thing for me is I've seen so many women forget their feminine flow, their feminine grace, their feminine magnificence to be in the masculine, to compete with men in the male-dominated business world. When that happens, they forget who they are. So when a man is like a gentleman to her, he's actually reminding her of her true nature. So some women are resistant, and I said to this earlier. Hey, Michaela, nice to see you here too. I love seeing my friends joining the scope now. It's great, and all the Brits. The thing for me that is challenging, because I've been through this before, where I would offer my gentlemanly support for a woman to open the door for her, and she'd almost slap my hand away, saying I could do it myself. And so I understand what you're saying there, Eric. Women, some women, just sharing won't stop if it's for manly men. Just sharing won't stop. Sorry, can you explain what you meant there, Michaela? I didn't quite understand the context of the statement. Maybe some punctuation missing. This challenge, in a way, because women have been trained again in society to be a certain way. When men try to be gentlemen to them, sometimes they react, and I've had the experience where women have been reactive to my offer of service. But I won't stop doing it because it's not about me; it's about them. So if they're not willing to accept it, somebody else will be, and not all women are caught in the same trap. So, gentlemanly championing. The scope is aimed at men, but women can listen to this too, because there's some women out there who have not allowed men to be gentlemen to them. So this works both ways. So, Michaela, feel free to share what the ladies do, or speak at it that way too. So this is the context, and the content of this is about, and gentleman conduct is something that's so subtle but so deep. You love a bit of chivalry. Well, that's good to know. I'm sure your husband does that for you, Michaela. If not, have him talk to me. I'll help him with it. I'm sure he does, though. Starting to get back on track. Remembering this key piece will change your relationship to the world for men. I should imagine he would be. If nothing else, you would have trained him, Michaela. But I'm glad he is. Yeah, you deserve that. Absolutely. So this is my something last night was something about Periscope's a dangerous place to play in some ways, because sometimes I'm teaching a point and then I watch some comments and I focus completely on the comments and miss where I was to talk about. So let me attempt to rewind to where I was and distill down my point. Thank you for that. Who's lost the dust? I'm not sure that is. It's okay, Michaela. This is part of the conversation. I have to remember, as our mutual friend Michael Simpino shared on his blog yesterday, it's not about me, it's about you. So it's about the conversation. So, hi. Nice to meet you, Leanne. Nice to meet you here. So to recap very quickly, you have the same problem with concentrating. That's the fun of Periscope. It gives us the opportunity to stretch beyond our comfort zones and hopefully become more accomplished in front of an audience. This is training for me, for speaking in front of live groups at some point down the road. Back to topic. To reiterate for those people who just joined who missed the beginning of the scope, this is a passionate piece for me to help men remember their gentlemanly gifts to serve and help women, and for women to remember that it's okay to be served by men in this context. That came out pretty good. This is one of my pet peeves. So this one is Man Up Mondays. This is today's topic, and there's going to be one Wednesdays, Women Up Wednesdays. The whole alliteration thing works. So between the women about the feminist stuff, then only if the audience shouts out all the time. Well, that's the thing. This is an opportunity to stretch Periscope gives you the opportunity to do that, which is good. So, quick recap, by the way, for those of you joining me late, you don't know I have a book out called 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. It's on Amazon. It's a #1 bestseller. It's in physical form, ebook, and Kindle. You can get to it on my site and find all about it. Sorry, to show the quick plug. If you go to barryselby.com/book, and there's an ebook version there and a Kindle version linked to Amazon, and the physical version too. And if you are looking for my site in general, it's just simply to find it's barryselby.com. That's my site. You find out all about my stuff that I offer, programs, etc. And for the ladies, just so I can tell you that now, since there are some people watching, single ladies, I have 2 versions of a program I'm offering right now, special, for the holidays. If you go to barryselby.com and either Dating Advantage or YDA Workbook, it's the same format. One's a download. This is ladies only, by the way. That is the workbook download for home study. This is the online program with coaching. So you can check this out on my website, and they're on my site. You just go find them right there. But bottom line, back to this topic. Sorry, I'm doing a bit quick marketing in the middle of that. Is that, there you go. Thank you for that, Jay. That's the online program that I'm offering a special deal with 2 coaching. Anyway, go look at the page. Read all about it. But back to this topic. Men, I implore you, I challenge you, I invite you to act out in the world, particularly around any women you're around, as a gentleman. Be willing to offer them, help them with their coats. This time of year it's colder. To help them by opening the door for them. To help them with their bags. To be present to what they're dealing with so you can serve and support them anywhere in life. Not about romance, about respect. That's your homework. Done. Okay. That summarizes the scope. Excuse me. I think that's it. Any questions or thoughts before I summarize? I think that was pretty much it. And thank you for participating in my scope today. And thank you, Jay, for being involved and for keeping me on track. Tomorrow will be my Tuesday scope, which is Togetherness Tuesdays, which is going to be a conversation about couples. I haven't put up the topic yet. I will do that by tomorrow. And please make sure you follow me on Periscope if you're not already doing so. So swipe right on the iPhone, up on the Droid, or tap the logo in the corner and tap follow me, so you make sure you're up to date on my Periscope broadcasts. I'm planning this week to do scopes every day at noon. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. And tomorrow is about couples, which is Togetherness Tuesdays, and then Wednesday is Women Up Wednesdays. I'm not telling you the rest of the week because I may have changed some of the titles and I don't know what they are yet, just to be honest. But you can catch all my other stuff on catch.me/barryselby. And I've got all my archives up there for my love scopes I do every day. Alright? Thank you for watching. I'm popping off now because I've got to do some more stuff. Yes, it's a new idea that I'm following. I got inspired by some other people in our group, in the Perry 10K group, by the way. And this is my exploration of trying to do topics each day. So, yeah, that's it. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with a regular scope at noon, and I think, yes, tomorrow I'm also, thank you. Tomorrow I'll be also doing part of the Perry 10K Share-a-thon. So, yeah, good stuff. Alright, I'll see you later. I'm going back to work and got to email my list about something I'm offering them this week as well. So again, follow me on Facebook, follow me on my site at barryselby.com, and follow me on Periscope. And I'll see you soon.